Hi everyone, I'm Paige Polsine with Growth Perspectives in Education. Welcome to our video series on teaching and learning online. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about adapting your lecture to an online format. I'm going to give you some ideas for streamlining your lecture and efficiently delivering course content to help your students achieve the objectives of the course. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is this question of whether or not to try and continue in a synchronous format or go all asynchronous. And my suggestion for you at this time is to, as much as possible, move to an asynchronous format for two reasons. One is time and the other is attention span. So many of our students now are looking for new places to live. Some of them are looking for new jobs. Some of them have moved to a completely new time zone and maybe are now in a living situation where they can't commit specific time periods to quiet in front of their computer. So expecting that can be just frustrating for everyone. And then on top of that, you've got the stress of this global pandemic. Everyone is worried. Everyone is bathed in cortisol. We're not able to focus the way that we normally would be able to focus. So I think if you give your students the freedom to choose when they can focus on your coursework, you're more likely to have positive outcomes. What I'm going to suggest that you do is reduce the size of your lecture or even eliminate your lecture if you can. And I know this is tough, especially for those of us who teach lecture-based courses, and we have very specific things that we want to make sure we get across to our students. But in the digital format, it is very, very tough to keep our students' attention for long periods of time, especially if all they're doing is hearing our voice. Even if they're seeing a video recorded lecture, it's just not the same. When we're face-to-face, even if we're in a real-time Zoom session, we can't use the body language and social cues that we always automatically use to adapt our voice, our delivery to re-engage students in a lecture. So it's just really tough. I really encourage you not to do a long video recorded lecture that you expect your students to watch. Please don't expect them to read a transcript of a video lecture. You're just asking for trouble. And really, really avoid having them watch a video recorded lecture that you gave to an on-site class, because those can just be really, really tough to follow. So I'm not suggesting you don't teach what you need to teach. I'm just suggesting that you find other ways to present that information. So I would start by really distilling each week, what are the things I really need to teach the students this week? What are our primary objectives? And then find other sources that I can use to teach those objectives. Don't reinvent the wheel here. There is so much out there. I strongly suggest you use a variety of formats. So maybe you find some charts and graphs, maybe find an infographic or a video that helps to teach that objective so that you don't have to start from scratch with that. And let's say you found all sorts of amazing resources for your students to explore and understand the objectives of the course, but there are still maybe 2 or 3 things that you really feel like you need to talk to the students about. In that case, I suggest you chunk those topics down into small, easily manageable portions and create short lecture videos. I'm talking between 5 and 10 minutes. Really anything much longer than 10 minutes and you're going to lose the attention of your students. So giving them that information in smaller chunks is going to be way more effective than trying to give them lots of information in one large chunk. Now, the last suggestion I have is really something I'm going to want you to have as the first thing the students explore, and that is a frame for the week. I encourage you to create a short video, again, less than 10 minutes, closer to 5 if you can, that introduces the students to the concepts of the course for the week, to important vocabulary, maybe that highlights valuable readings or lecture materials. And another thing I really like to do with this is call out positive examples of student work using specific students' names. This is a great way to stay connected to your students, for your students to understand that you really are active there in the discussion forums, that you're paying attention to what they're doing, and it makes them feel seen and heard. So just a quick short video at the beginning of the week to sort of frame the work for the students so they know where to put their focus can be such a gift to them. All right, I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Check out the rest of the videos at growthperspectives.org. Take care.